Good afternoon, channel 411. This is my furnace, and it just happens to be running off of my Honda generator. And how I've done this is with a Reliance Protran transfer switch. This is a manual transfer switch. It's a 4-circuit. Each one of these circuits is 15 amps, so these circuits will just run your conventional household circuits, 110 volt, 115 volt, 15 amp circuits. The way this is done is through this conduit, which is attached to my panel. And basically how it works is that each 15 amp circuit that I wish to run, 4 of them. So I've picked my furnace circuit, my fridge upstairs, my basement freezer and fridge circuit, and my smoke detector circuit. So for example, if I wanted to back up my furnace circuit, the way this works is it essentially is a bypass. So what I did was I ran, for example, my furnace circuit runs through this conduit, through the furnace circuit right here, the A circuit, and then back out to the panel and out to the actual device, which is the furnace. On circuit 44, that is my furnace circuit. As you can see, that basically runs out to the furnace. But to install the manual transfer switch, what is done is there are a number of wires that come out of this conduit from the manual transfer switch and run into the panel. And at circuit 44, of course, it is a 115 volt circuit, 15 amp. What is done is a red wire from that conduit that originates in the manual transfer switch comes off of circuit 44, runs through the conduit, through circuit A, becomes a black wire, goes back out through the conduit, back into the panel, and runs out to the appliance, that being the furnace. So essentially then, that circuit is complete through this transfer switch. This transfer switch now has a line setting, an off setting, and a gen setting. Right now, circuit A is in the gen setting. So what that does is it doesn't allow the feed from the generator, which you see here, to back feed into the panel. It takes over the circuit number 44, it takes it over essentially, and then runs out to the panel and out to the circuit. It does not back feed the panel, it does not back feed the feed into the system. The way it's hooked up is it only feeds the circuit that requires the power. The breakers on this manual transfer switch are very unique in that they have 3 settings: a line setting, an off setting, and a gen setting. So depending on their position, their function changes. So basically there are 3 positions for these circuits. Right now I know it's hard to see, but I have 3 circuits. My fridge upstairs, my freezer downstairs, and my smoke detector circuits are in the line mode, which means they are pulling power from the panel in conventional mode. If I decide to switch my fridge upstairs to the gen setting, which I will do right now, it is now running off the generator. the two circuits, the furnace and the fridge, are running off the generator. The input from the generator comes from this wire and then out to a power inlet box. The power inlet box is an option to the manual transfer switch. You can order that from Reliance Controls. I'm going to go outside and show you the power inlet box. I have this on my channel. Here's the setup. It's a 30 amp L5 running from the generator to my power inlet box. Right now, the power inlet box is fed through my home to the manual transfer switch. Again, this is an option. It's a nice option to have, so that way you don't have to run this cable through your home to the manual power transfer switch. I would suggest getting this with the kit. The audio on that previous clip out there wasn't that good, so I'm going to sort of redo it from the inside. You did see the power inlet box. Like I said, that generator there from a previous review, it will run on both eco mode and regular mode. This generator will run all of my appliances in the eco mode, which is nice, so I don't piss my neighbors off when I'm running it for an emergency backup situation. It's a terrific setup. Again, so here is the routing of the wiring from the power inlet box. That corner is where you saw the mounting for the power inlet box. The wiring from the power inlet box comes in through this wall. Panel is mounted right here. Both the panel would be right here on the other side. Manual transfer switch would be right here. And that's basically the routing for the wiring of the power inlet box. And again, I strongly recommend you purchase the power inlet box, so that way you don't have, you don't have to run your cable in from the door, thus keeping the door open all the way through your house, wherever that is, and into your mechanical room. It's just a better option. It doesn't cost a lot more. I think it's 70 bucks extra for the power inlet box. With the Reliance kit, you can have the power inlet in this location, but I've chosen to pull that power inlet plug out, put in the cover, and run the power inlet from this point through my wall, my basement, and out to the power inlet box. The manual transfer switch itself is rather easy to install. I found it quite easy. I do have a trade background with a bit of training in electrical, so it wasn't that difficult. Of course, there is a video, and the instructions provided are also very comprehensive, so you shouldn't have a problem installing it. If you're not comfortable installing this system, always consider getting a qualified electrician to install it for you. But again, I found it quite easy, and I will provide a link to the video from Reliance Controls on YouTube at the bottom of this video to also give you another source of knowledge on how to install the system. So that is the system in a nutshell. Remember, there are many different types of manual transfer switches you can buy, many from Reliance Controls in and of themselves. So there's tons of options. I chose the 4-circuit option to run 4 of the circuits that I feel are most important, and I described those to you earlier. Of course, you can tailor the system to your needs. Just keep in mind the requirements of your generator. As you increase the number of circuits, of course, the requirements of the generator are going to change as well. I can leave that for another day. That's a different topic. Again, it's a great system. I highly recommend it, and I enjoy it very much. Thank you. Thanks for watching Channel 411.